You are watching the #1 podcast in the whole entire YouTube wrestling community, and I'm one of your hosts, Juan.
And I'm your other host, Jean-Paul Leek.
And together we are Raw Break. Family, how's every single one of you today? And of course, it's Tuesday morning, so we're going to be talking about Monday Night Raw. Jean-Paul, this show, I think, disappointed a lot of people because it was not a good show. I think that there was nothing savable. Everything was kind of like recycled from like last week. So I don't know if there was something that of importance that came out of this show.
Yeah, there was barely any development, I thought. You know, it's like, okay, Extreme Rules, and now they're calling it Extreme Rules, the horror show. It's like, yeah, we know this is going to be an awful pay-per-view, but you have to, like, call it the horror show. And to me, that's just, like, really, like, gimmicky and stupid. It makes me think of, like, Halloween, and we're not even close to October, so I'm like, I don't know what the hell they're doing. So, hey, I mean, that was really the only development, what we saw. Contract signing, how do they always end? In a brawl? And what happened?
And after that sets up for like a tag match.
Set up the main event, and it's like, you know, we didn't get anything. There was some things that I thought, okay, maybe it'll be legit. We saw Ricochet, and, you know.
So Cedric, we haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, but I mean, like, what did we, you know, we saw him, and it was like, cool, but then when we actually saw him in action, it was like, so.
And then done. And then
yeah, so
you know, that's how it is. The Monday Night Raw, not good. And
no.
Thank you so very much for watching every single one of our videos. Remember, we have a great show that we did live, almost 2 hours, talking about a lot of the news in the WWE and Impact, AEW. All of that is in the channel. Also, we have a really great interview with Patrick Young, referee from Tennessee. So, like, please, you know, go check that out. So, Jean-Paul, like you said, Raw opens up with like the contract signing. So we had McIntyre and Asuka, and the contenders, or the #1 contenders, I would say Sasha Banks and Dolph Ziggler. And, you know, like it was just like Dolph Ziggler and McIntyre talking for the first 5 minutes, and then Asuka got mad.
Well, before it even started, the women were just beating the hell out of each other. And I'm like, did I miss something? I'm like, what did I? But that's how it went on the air. They were just, you know, Bayley was out there as well. They're fighting and whatever. Then they calmed down. And then, like you said, it was just McIntyre and Ziggler. I mean, don't get me wrong. McIntyre's a legit promo here. What, you know, everything he said was legit. Ziggler comes on, and you want to feel the same for Dolph Ziggler because he's like, oh, you know, you had to leave. You had to go out in the indies and prove yourself. I stayed here. I was able to survive. And it's like, he acts like, oh, you know, I'll get kicked down by you, but I'll get up because I survive. And it's like, do you survive? Like, look at your track record against Kofi, against, you know, Roman Reigns, Goldberg, when you called out Goldberg, you know, before the match in Saudi. So it's like, dude, like, do you survive? I don't think so. So it's like the promo, it sounded legit, but when you really think about it, not really. And then, like you said, Asuka gets pissed, and what happens? Every contract signing ends in a big brawl.
Ends in a big brawl, and like he couldn't even name the stipulation. He couldn't name the stipulation of the match, so that was even worse.
Yeah, but that is the only thing. That's the only thing that I thought was legit. When Drew said, like, you know, oh, because they're family. He's like, oh, I'll let you pick the stipulation. And then Ziggler, that was a legit line when he's like, oh, like, you're going to choose the way you lose the title? Like, okay. But like you said, but that was the whole hook. That was the whole hook of this opening segment, and we never got it.
And I'm waiting for it, and then Asuka interrupts, and then everything turns out to be, like you said, in a big brawl. And then in the end, and they're, like, setting out for a match. So, like, the tag, it will be, like, the contenders against the champions. So I was like, I really don't like when WWE does that, just because also, like, as like you have a match on pay-per-view, then you just shouldn't touch each other before the pay-per-view.
Yeah, especially when it's this close, and it's like, okay, what are you going to do here? It's predictable. Are the baby faces going to win and bury the heels before the pay-per-view? No. Are the heels going to win? Yeah, probably. And that's what we saw. You know what I mean? That's what we saw.
Exactly. So, like, I'm not really a great segment. So, like, that set up the pace. I'm like, oh, this is going to be 3 hours that are going to be hard to watch.
Thanks, Bruce.
Yep. Thank you, Bruce. Like, I mean, we understand the situation, but still, like, the show was not good at all. I'll just say that. So, we see a replay of last Monday, you know, Andrade with Angel Garza. Like, they're talking about, like, they're going to try to pursue the tag team belts. So they're talking about that, and then we see kind of Angel Garza like flirting with the referee. He has a rose, and he's like, "Oh, I think you're gonna be the referee in our match." And she's like, "Yeah, well, all right, I gotta go." So like she leaves, and then Charlie Caruso, "Hey, Angel," I like that, like like they're friends and stuff. But right away, like Selena is the one that steps up, and then she starts talking, and she starts like saying that they're, you know, They're the new faction. I will say, like, they're finally settled their differences. And Andrade's talking, right, Jean Paul? He's talking. He's saying a few things. I really couldn't understand, but like he was saying something. So then the Big Show comes out of nowhere, and the Big Show interrupts, and he's like, "Hey, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I'm just gotta practice. I gotta get ready for Randy Orton."
Yeah, I love how he's like, hey, he calls her Smurfette, and then he called him like Ferrari and something else. I forget what he called him, but it's like, he just, I mean, and we saw this later on in the show, but I mean, he just buried them on the mic.
Oh my, yeah, it's a Maserati and a Ferrari.
Yeah. I mean, like Angel Garza, I mean, his English is all right, but it's like barely gets there. In a promo battle in English, he's probably gonna lose. But then when Andrade tries to speak, it's like,
yeah, well,
it's like, come
exactly.
on.
That's the one thing, because it's like for you guys, it's like if you're trying to learn a language or you're trying to talk in a language, you can say the words, but if you don't sound believable, what I mean, you can say it. You can say
you can't, like,
word by word.
Yeah, like,
but if you don't understand the tone.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you could teach me Spanish, but like if I don't say it with the emotion, I'll sound like a robot, like like on a computer when it speaks it. It sounds dead. No emotion.
It sounds dead. And like you said, the Big Show pretty much ended up burying both of them because he wasn't happy about any of this. So like he was just like waiting, pacing in the ring. He was like waiting for Randy Orton, and then they come out, and then they were trying to cut the promo, and the Big Show is like, hey, I'm in a bad mood, so like, hey, no time for games. He's like, hey, just letting you know, I'm in a bad mood. I'm not doing this. And Andrade and Garza, they kept trying, and even Selena, hey, we're going to be doing Randy Orton a favor. And it's like, oh, no, come on. You want to do this? Let's do it in the ring. So, like, what do you think about the match?
I mean, the guys they sold for him, they made Big Show look good. I thought Big Show actually looked, good here. Good for his age and everything considered. Not good as in like what I consider to be good, but good for him. And but he won. And I'm like, is it really worth it to squash these two up and coming stars who are supposed to be legit for a throwaway match at Extreme Rules, the horror show?
Yeah.
Like, what I mean? Like, okay, do you need to build up the Big Show anymore? He's already built up enough. Everything he's accomplished speaks for itself. Even if he's not as good as he, used to be, you still remember all the legit things he did. So it's like, you don't need to be having these guys lose. So that I kind of thought was bullshit, but that, like we said, it just the opening segment sent the trend for the whole show. So
it did, and even we got Ric Flair, because then people might say, why is Ric Flair in the show when there's all these things with COVID? Is because of course this show was taped, and he pretty much said to the Big Show also before the match started, he said, hey, Randy Orton's not gonna come out whenever you want him. He's gonna come out whenever he feels like it. So then that's why they have to put these guys, like you said, job them out to the Big Show. I really like Garza's energy, because when he was before he gave the last tag, he was like, did super kicking, like he was doing drop kicks. He was like a lot of intensity when the Big Show, and the Big Show, like you said, was selling for him. Then he gives the tag to Andrade. Andrade ties himself in. Of course, there's still tension between the two. And then he's like, I won my moment. And then the Big Show was just already in the back setting up for the choke slam. Then the KO punch. Well, like 1, 2, 3, and then the KO punch. So you could tell, I even texted you. I said, hey, you could see who they like best. In Vince McMahon's eyes, who took the pin? Andrade. So they don't like him.
Yep.
Who they save? Garza. So, like you said, the show was not really that awesome. But then we had also like the Viking Raiders against Andrade and Angel Garza. So they have a double duty. They're having double duty.
Yeah, I was like, okay, like you just got your ass kicked. Now you're supposed to go into tag match? Yeah, yes. and this is a match that I thought they would lose. And they ended up winning the damn thing.
Yes. Yeah, at least in this one they won.
Yeah, which to me made no sense. It would have, it would have made more sense if this would have been first, and then it's like, okay, and then but
yeah, but that's what WWE does to you. So like pretty much like the Viking Raiders are now, they're the one that they're losing a lot, and they're losing a little bit of the stocks here. So I really didn't like that. But like like I think that Garza and Andrade, if you portray them like this, like as winners, it's believable. But then you go to the Big Show and that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So it's like it didn't make any sense. You're like, okay, like I don't know what It's literally like you're playing the game. Like there's no real life fatigue and tiredness involved. You're good to go. Boom, next match. Yep, I'm good to go.
Let's go. It's like we don't have anything else, so let's go. So Jean Paul, Eric tags back in, and then they hit Garza with a power bomb and Andrade with a slam at the same time. But they look for the Viking experience. but Andrade gets to escape, and then he hits a disco's elbow to Eric. Then Garza attacks him, and he hits the wing clipper. I really love that move, though.
The wing clip. Oh, it's legit.
Wing
and was that in the Big Show match that Andrade that was the match he walked out, right? And Zelina was like, no, come back.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So they, like you said, there was even the tension, and then in this match, they worked together pretty good, right? Or was it Garza this time who was kind of being?
No, they were fine because that's why I see, like, they were able to help each other, or to the point of.
I think it was like after the match. I think they kind of
after the match is like you see the tension between, like you said, like they keep trying to see who's the best out of the two. They're trying to build on that tension, and then, like you said, at some point.
I mean, I would love this. I would love for it.
Face.
Yeah, I would love for it to be a legit feud. And then, I mean, you could even, to me, you could almost even make Andrade babyface.
Yeah.
I don't know how that would get over, but then maybe when Charlotte comes back, you can put them together as both babyface.
And then that would be fine, because at some point, like we see, like it seems like Tessa Blanchard is going to be signed with WWE.
Yep, so that's the current rumor. But like, are they going to win? I don't know, but I would love to see them. I mean, are they going to win the tag titles from this? I don't think so. I think it's just like, it's almost like a Bayley Sasha thing leading just towards a feud.
Yeah, like they don't know what they do with him, so that's why they have to like keep them in smaller feuds or smaller things, so like they finally blow up. So like the feud between each other, that's going to be the main thing. But like talking about people that has been meaningless in this show, Ruby Riott. Ruby Riott is backstage, so she's going to be told. The Iconic shows up. The Iconics, and they're talking to her. They're like, hey, you suck. You used to be someone kind of legit, but now you suck, and they attack Ruby Riott. Why? Poor Ruby, like, at least she's on TV now, but again, she's still a loser. And that sucks, because Ruby deserves a lot better in this show, right, Jean-Paul?
Yeah, I mean, I think she's a legit wrestler. She could add a lot to the women's division on Monday Night Raw, but like, so could Shayna Baszler, so could Bianca Belair.
Where are they?
Instead, we don't see them. They're on Main Event. If you want to watch that, 2-hour show or hour and a half show, however long it is. I never watch it. Clearly, no one else does. That's where you can find them if you're looking for them.
Absolutely.
But she had a match with Peyton Royce then, and it's like, oh, okay, but she'll probably win that. And even she said a legit line. She's like, oh, after I kick, whichever one of your asses first, then the other one who's watching can get in the ring, and I'll kick their ass next.
Legit line, but did it happen?
No. So it's like, I mean, if they're setting it up for a Ruby and Liv to get back together, it's like, okay, you split them up. That was a failed experiment. It was on WWE's part. I won't say it's any of the talent's fault. I will say it's WWE's booking. It's like, okay, you screwed up. Put them back together and create another tag team, because I'm fine with that, because they need tag teams, for the women.
For the women, yeah. So. And I think that, like, the Riot Squad, because Sarah Logan is not coming back. A lot of rumors she has to step out of wrestling, so it's going to be Liv and Ruby. Like you said, I want to see it, but at the same time, it's like I will much rather see Liv Morgan as a singles girl competitor. But clearly, reports Vince McMahon does not like that. So it's like, what do I do to at least keep her on TV? Hey, I put it with Ruby. Everybody should be happy, quote unquote. But like, I don't think we're all happy. But you're right. So like, that's what ended up happening. So Jean-Paul, let's go to the best part of the show, the most enticing part, the most entertaining part. 24/7 championship match. Akira Tozawa going against R-Truth. And
what's up?
Well, yeah, what's up, and what's there for here to say? R-Truth like fakes an injury and rolls up to Tozawa for the win.
See, this is the one thing I just want to say is, like, now this title is a joke. There's no way that they ever want to present this legit. They're not trying to get it over as legit. It's just all supposed to be funny. But these guys could have put on a legit match. You just gave them 10 minutes and say, go out all guns blazing in 10 minutes. They would have put on a legit match.
Oh, yeah.
R-Truth can still go. Tozawa's legit. We saw in the Cruiserweight tournament, and we've seen everything on 205 Live from him. So we know these guys can go, but they're like, just joke, roll up, done. Nobody cares.
And then, of course, when you win the title, just roll through the crowd, to the crowd and skate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just a joke that, like, well, this title is started out with the wrong food, because USA was the one asking WWE to have a title, to kind of like have something that will be entertaining for people, because remember at that time the ratings were really low. All they gave us this. You tell me. And
it's essentially like, it reminds me like when who was it, Crash Holly or whoever did the Defended Anywhere, the
Hardcore Championship. But see, that was entertaining though.
Yeah, but
like Crash will make it fun.
Yeah, because they could be more risky because it was still, you know, the hardcore and, you know, all that. Now it's like they just had that idea of defending it everywhere, but they took all
But it
the
doesn't come
legitness
out
out
as
of it.
legit
Yeah,
anyway, because
but
also
they
like
took
the
all the
people that
legitness out.
challenge are not that legit. I mean, Tosawa is legit, but like of course,
But see, but that's the problem is, and it's like I don't want to talk about this much longer, but it's like you got to have guys be jumping out of lockers or like jumping out of trash cans, like doing something creative, or
yes,
like throwing like a net over the guy or zapping him with a taser. You know,
yeah,
instead of just chasing after him in a freaking conga line, you know, just like, oh, get him, get him, get him. It's like,
yeah. It's not. It doesn't make any sense. And you
yeah,
know, and from this, you're already like falling asleep, or you're ready to change the channel, and you get Bobby Lashley and MVP. So they're backstage, and they say that Apollo is turning them down when was his really slap in the face. Then MVP assures him that he's done giving offers to Cruz. Despite everything, he likes the kid, so he's going to drop some gems on him before he beats him. So they walked off, and then when they see Seth Rollins, Monday Night Raw Messiah, with Murphy holding Rey Mysterio's mask. So that's where we're gonna get next. So Seth Rollins and Murphy made their way to the ring. We get another promo. Seth Rollins says as like Mysterio and Dominic, like they need to like understand that they're doing this for Wash and Paul for the greater good. And if they don't want to be part of the greater good, then unfortunately for Dominic, he's gonna have to end up his career before it even starts. So they're having a promo right there, and of course Ray shows up out in the Titantron. Hey, Zed, Zed, Zed. Like, where are you? Oh, right there. Okay, hey Ray. They're like, hey, and then they start talking one more time, and says like, hey, I'm gonna beat you. You think that you're gonna end up my career? That's not gonna happen. You try, it didn't end. And it's like, mijo, it's like, te amo, cabrón. I'm like, why you call your son a fucker? I don't get it, but it's okay. Whatever. Yeah, I guess that's how you talk to your son. Okay. So like they're pretty much talking about that, and he's like, say, son, you fought for me. You already fought for me. I'm gonna be fighting for you. So like they keep dragging this jump. They should be like, okay, we're gonna have a match with Extreme Rules.
well, that's because
they're dragging this to
yeah,
SummerSlam.
I think there's going to be an Extreme Rules because I mean, slamming the eyes and the, whatever, like in the ring steps and all that. Like to me, that's like already you're setting it up extreme. He said an eye for an eye. To me, I would love to see a stip, even if it's just Extreme Rules. It doesn't got to be a last man standing or like a tables match or like a WWE's book stupid gimmicks and eye gouging match or some bullshit.
That would be legit. Now whoever the winner like gets the eye of the other one.
Yeah, but they could really play it off though. I mean, you could play this feud, and then if you want to stretch it to SummerSlam, and then maybe have Dominic involved in the SummerSlam match, you can. To me, they're not telling the story legit enough to stretch it to SummerSlam because right now this is a stretch to get to Extreme Rules. Because like you said, we keep seeing the same shit. It's like, oh my, like we got to see a promo by Mysterio because he's at his house, and it's like we don't ever see him. He shows up 1 week and then he's gone for 5 more weeks, and then half the time when the promos are over, it's just Aleister Black and Humberto are just standing.
Well,
there.
and then that's what happened because
and it's like, what the hell are you guys doing here?
And even Seth goes, why you guys stick up for him? Why you?
Yeah, he's like, dude, like do something else.
What the hell? And then Carrillo said, well, I fight for the Hispanic culture. I fight for like Ray. You're a coward, Seth. Like you don't even have, you're not half the man that said like Rey Mysterio is. So like I was like,
and don't get me wrong, I love Aleister Black. To me, he is legit. If you watch our news video from over the weekend, we talked about who could be the next Undertaker. This guy's one of them. As in, not like steal the gimmick, but just the aura, the mystique, and everything. And he's like, when he points at Seth Rollins, he's like, I know evil and I can sense evil from you. I'm like, am I watching an anime or am I watching wrestling? I'm like, but this is badass. So,
but at least Black is the only one that comes out believable here.
Yeah, Black is legit, and then but he's just stuck in this somebody else's feud.
Yes,
he's not even in his own feud.
Yes,
it's
and
like,
then of course that set up a match, and Austin Theory, he's off TV because of the allegations. They're still looking for like a resolution on that. I think that's what it is. So they have a match with Rollins and Murphy going against Carrillo and Aleister Black. Pretty good match. Of course, these guys, all 4 are really good wrestlers. Mm-hmm. Out of the 4, maybe the weakest link will be Carrillo, just because like the lack of powerness or like his strength when he delivers the moves. Like, I mean, like the kind of like execution to make him look more.
Oh, yeah, because his moves are definitely like the lightest because like Black, he is like the, all his kicks and stuff are legit.
Stiff,
Same thing. Murphy, I think, almost hits better knees than Aleister Black.
Oh, yeah.
I would say Murphy's knees are like super legit, Rollins, Rollins is good. You can't take anything away from Seth Rollins in the ring. But yeah, Humberto is just like real floaty. You could say
Yeah,
he's like
it's more.
light.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a feather. You just like.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
his moves are impressive as hell to watch
Oh
them.
yeah. No, like I said, it's just like if we will be more powerful, like more violent, they will be
Hmm.
really good. But in
Oh
the end,
yeah.
Murphy and Seth Rollins get the win thanks to a stomp, onto like Carrillo, and then
Hmm.
they get the win, and then they were gonna like kind of like they grab Carrillo. They were trying to like do the same thing with the
Well,
eye.
yeah, they put the Rey. He had a Rey Mysterio
They got a
mask. He put
mask.
that on him. Yep.
And yeah, they try, but like Carrillo was defending himself until Murphy got the steel steps, and boom, like kind of in the game, and then you got like a
Yep.
really big advantage, and then they were gonna do it again, but then Aleister Black saved the whole thing, and then Rollins ends up hitting another stomp onto Carrillo and onto the steps, and then they walk away. So like I said, at least for me, they need to have this Magic Extreme Rules, and like I said, that if you want Dominic in it, then stretch it out to SummerSlam. But like at least they need to say this match is happening right now, because if they keep dragging this, to me it's
Hmm.
just like it's not
Yeah,
interesting
and I
anymore.
don't know when Mysterio's done. I know we talked about it a little bit. I forget when the date is, but I mean, you could even do a match that he wins at Extreme Rules, and then Rollins is like, "Oh, this is bullshit," and they do some at SummerSlam, and it's like a retirement match, like a career versus whatever, and then Rollins wins, and then that's when he's like, "Oh, mijo, here's my mask, whatever," and then he's like, "Okay, Jefe,"
No, I
and
mean,
then
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
if he's not re-signing, if there's nothing to else to do for Rey Mysterio, do that, and that will be the last way. It will be the finest way to give him to say goodbye to him. It will be the last time we will see him, but it
Yeah,
will be
and
the
and
finest way
something
to do it.
legit I would want to see is you could put Dominic and Humberto in a tag team if you wanted. Want to create
That will
another
be the
tag
beginning
team, and
for him.
two, it's like I can teach my idol's son. Like I feel like that would be like a legit storyline thing.
Oh yeah,
So,
it will be. It will be just because like it will help Dominic to just kind of like learn, because
yeah,
the tag matches are more
yeah,
fun. It's less
exactly, and
overload.
that's a way to just ease him into wrestling, and then boom, he can go on a
Yes,
singles career.
exactly. So we got a big small promo Jean Paul from Drew McIntyre and Asuka. They're like kind of hyping them up. Asuka's like talking Japanese, and Drew is like, "Don't worry, we'll get him, relax. It's all good." So we get to see another tribute to the Undertaker. Same video package that we saw on SmackDown. Same video package that we've seen everywhere right now. Thank you, Taker, and all of that. So Lana
Hmm.
walks up to Ruby Riott, and she's talking to her backstage, and she says she can't believe how rude the Iconics were. And he's like, "Well, what do you want?" And like, don't you have to do TikTok? Don't you have to show naked just to like get
Yeah,
the
exactly.
stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's like, well, he's like, well, if I'm managing Natalia now, so you might join, but up to you. And like you said, Jean Paul, they had that match with like Peyton Royce really quick, and Peyton Royce actually got the win. But like you said, I love the finisher, like that suplex, like a brain buster, like
yeah. It almost reminded like she had it was like a brain buster, but she spun it around like a jackhammer.
spinning brain
Yeah,
buster.
so
Yeah.
it was like I mean that was legit when she pulled it off. So I mean she's to me like if she debuts a new finisher, that shows that she's actually practicing in the ring.
Oh
She's
yeah.
not just posting pictures of herself on Instagram. She's actually in the ring and
Oh,
getting
the
a little bit
booty.
better. Yeah,
Yeah, the
exactly.
booty.
So
Yes.
maybe Sean Spears is actually doing something good. He's like, hey, I can't get over, but I can help my wife get
Well,
over.
it's like okay, well, okay. It's like you get the views, you get the money, you're the
Yeah.
breadwinner in this family. I'm gonna teach you some moves. What we will be legit now that you mentioned that if she will do the Sean Spears finisher, like the tiebreaker, I think it was called.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like that's what like if she will do that, see that's paying homage to her man. So that will be legit. But in the end, like I said, Peyton Rose wins, and I'm sorry for Ruby, but she looks like a loser. So, but
Especially
like I
like I
said,
said, I mean, if you would have called her out, see, she should have beaten Peyton, called her out. Next week should have been Billy Kay. She could have beat Billy Kay, and then the two of them could have beat her down after the match, and
and
then
then
Ruby
Liv
Riott
comes
comes out.
out.
Yeah, or Liv comes out. Yeah, yeah,
And then
and
Liv
then
comes out, and that will be fine. But that's not what we got. Then we get a promo from the Big Show talking about Ric Flair. It was my idol. Blah blah blah. That I'm sorry, that came out blah 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 for me. It's like we've seen that. We saw
oh
the
yeah,
Stone Cold Steve Austin like Broken Skull sessions. We know what's going to happen.
mm-hmm.
And then they got the match that we already talked about. So Jean Paul, we go to Cedric Alexander and Apollo Crews and Ricochet. They're all like in backstage. They're kind of talking. They're talking with R-Truth. And they're like happy. Hey, you got the 24/7 set championship. That's legit. And like you beat Tozawa, so that's really cool. So that's kind of like, and he calls Cedric the entertainer.
Yeah, I was laughing at that.
Because how like of course R-Truth is in his own world, but at least the fact that R-Truth is the most fun part of the show. That tells a lot. You
Yeah,
know, I'm
and
not
you
saying he's bad, but like you have to rely on our truth.
I love our truth, and that's the thing is like these writers aren't like, oh, call him Cedric the Entertainer, or like call like last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever it was. Oh, say that Nia Jax is a ninja Akira Tozawa in disguise. That's all him. That's all from his brain. So like the dude is just funny as hell.
Oh yeah, like he should have his own comedy show. You know, I think that he's way better than Ziggler because I know Ziggler is a comedian.
Give him a comedy show and put it on the network. I'd watch it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, it's like, what's up? There you go. That's the name of the show. What's up? You know, what's up with our truth? So there you go.
Yeah.
We give you an idea.
There you go. WWE Network. Give us some money. Yeah. We'll take 10%.
MVP and Lashley Jean Paul MVP wearing like the Punisher. Like the Punisher look. That I really like that. Like,
I love how when he does the comic stuff, like Royal Rumble, I think he did Black Panther. Yeah, and then it's like Punisher. Yeah, I love the comic.
Yeah, MVP. Stuff. You know, he's legit. So like we send Montel Bontavious Porter, like MVP, the highest acquisition on SmackDown on the year 2006. Yeah, that's what they used to call it. So MVP and Lashley come to the ring, and then they're talking about pretty much inspiration and how Lashley was being disrespected by Apollo Crews. But it won't happen again. So Apollo comes out, and he says he didn't disrespect MVP, but he says that they're both self-made men, so they don't stand there and give a speech about giving back. He says MVP should have listened when he turned him down, but he kept pushing and pushing, because the only person MVP cares is about himself. So MVP says he admires Crews' gumption, but he's about to find out what he really wants him as an enemy. So they have a match, and in this situation, MVP comes out of the winner. So,
and let me just say, was it a good match? Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah. You know, you can't be like watching this and be like, this sucks. No, there's no, MVP's good for his age. Apollo Crews, to me, is legit. But the only problem I have is MVP won relatively clean. And not saying MVP doesn't deserve a win, but like in this storyline, the way you're setting it up, I feel like it should have been a little more cheating, a little bit more whatever.
Yes, sir. Why? Because, heels need to cheat to win. Especially if you're a champion, you shouldn't be losing on weekly TV.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, boom, MVP won. It's like, okay, non-title match. So it's like, does it really matter? No, it's like losing, a preseason game in football or any sport. It's like, oh, it doesn't really matter towards your score, but it matters here.
Yes.
It matters mentally.
Yes.
Like, oh, this guy
especially,
beat me.
like you said, being clean. So that also, like, they were attacking. They kept attacking. Lashley also got up and got in the ring, and then they were attacking.
Yeah, he did the Master's Lock. The
Master's Lock, and then somebody, like you said, like we haven't seen in a while. They both come out. It was Ricochet and Cedric the Entertainer. Cedric the Entertainer. So they both came out, and that set up a match between Lashley and Ricochet. That turned out to be a really good match. I really enjoyed that.
Oh, Ricochet is one of those guys like Gargano, and he's one of those guys who can just, when he gets hit as a babyface, he can sell. The dude looks like he's in legit pain.
Prince Puma is legit, yeah. Ricochet is crap about Prince Puma's legit.
Oh, give him the mask again, he would have beat Lashley. But there was a lot of interference. MVP interferes on the outside. So like, if you just read the WWE report, if you're like, oh, let me see what happened in Raw last night, because if for whatever reason, if you're not watching Rope Break and you're just reading what happened, you see it's like, oh, Bobby Lashley dominated Ricochet. Well, I don't know if I go that far. I mean, he does look dominant, but like you said, this was a good match. Ricochet had some offense. Ricochet almost kind of pulled it out at some spots. But in the end, are you going to really, are you going to have Ricochet beat Bobby Lashley when we haven't seen Ricochet in how many weeks?
For a tiny second, I thought that like he was going to win.
Yeah, and the way that they were, like, Cedric kind of makes me not know where they're going with this. I mean, they could just leave Cedric off TV, but I wouldn't be surprised next week we see Lashley and MVP versus Ricochet and Apollo.
Yeah, that's what I think, and it might be just like the situation, but in the end, like you said, full Nelson for Ricochet, taps out, and then for some reason the Entertainer had to be involved. And then also like Master's Lock and tap out also. So
yeah, I mean, see, and that's what I didn't like. I mean, unless I missed it, but I don't know why Cedric wasn't going over and beating the shit out of MVP when he was getting involved.
Yeah, because of course, like the down
he just stood there on the apron like, "Come on, Ricochet." Yeah, and it's like, dude, go kick MVP's ass.
Is this help out? Is help out? What the hell? So, Jean Paul, that's what it is. And I don't know what they're doing it, but like you already predicted, and I'm pretty sure you're going to be right. Because it's going to be a tag match in between the two losers of tonight, Apollo and Ricochet, going against MVP and Bobby Lashley. So that's what I think is going to happen. You already predicted, and I'm pretty sure, I'm 9 out of 10 sure that like you're going to be.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, no, I don't think we'll see. I think we'll see that.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
like, let's go to the main event time. Champions against number one contenders. Bayley was on commentary. Like, this match was cool. I like the interactions. I like, for example, like, see, in mid-match, like, Sasha was like to Drew, he's like, what the hell? Who the hell do you think you are? Hey, what the hell are you talking
Oh yeah,
about?
she tags herself in because obviously they don't do the intergender.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how you could do that with Drew against Sasha. He would kill her with any move. You know,
I want him to, like, to do, like, the claymore kick on her. That would be
no,
so legit.
the Glasgow kiss. I think he would blow her skull out.
Well, that would be a
He did
kiss.
that,
That,
but
like, yeah, that would be the kiss of death right there.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like I think she tagged in Ziggler because Ziggler was on the apron and
Yeah.
Drew just fucking pops him and he just loogie. He does like the Shawn Michaels when Shawn Michaels would spit the loogie and they'd always be
Yeah.
like, "Is that a tooth?" I mean,
Yeah.
Ziggler was done. So like, and she just looked. She's like, "What the hell? Like, you just killed this guy." So like you
No,
said,
you gotta
legit
you gotta
stuff.
love Dolph Ziggler though. As a
Oh
seller,
yeah.
oh, that guy sells.
To me, Dolph Ziggler, he's the same thing. What I said earlier. He's legit, but did they present him legit? No. You want to believe when you see this guy, you're like, he's legit. I want to have that feeling like he's legit. And then you look back at everything he's done recently, and you're like, he hasn't been legit since like 2016.
If you go by, like, results wise, not legit, but like ring ability, all of that. For example, I love when he
Oh,
hits that DDT when he gets really high in the air, and you kind of hear like how he goes like this because it's
mm-hmm.
like, I guess that's the signal, get me down, because he's
Yep.
really high, and then you go, well, and then boom, hits the DDT. The
Yeah, they
selling
always do that.
ability.
Like that smack on the back. I think is for them so they tuck their head.
Yeah, I think, yeah, like what I
Yeah,
mean,
so it's like they.
like I'm
Yeah,
gonna go down, so like it's like,
yeah,
yeah, or like, yeah, I think it's Max Diaz. It's like, okay,
yeah.
go down, go down. So like Dolby so for me, Dolby so
Oh
legit.
yeah, everything. He like ring ability, cutting promos, selling. He's another one too who he sells his ass off.
That's one that you just said it. The one that, like, like
Yeah.
he could sell. If it is about commission, Dolby's, he should have like a lot of money because commission money from all the selling he does. Legit.
Oh yeah.
Legit. And I really like Bayley on commentary. She adds a little bit more to the matches.
Yeah, I love when she's like Byron Saxon. You're almost as bad as Michael Cole.
Oh yes.
She's like, shut up.
Or,
Like, you're
for example,
almost
it's
as
like,
bad
oh,
as
Bailey,
Cole.
like, how do you feel about your match with Nikki Cross at Extremes? Like, hey, dude, it's Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
We'll worry about it when it's SmackDown. It's like, like, I'm rooting for my friend. Let me just, like, oh,
Yeah.
go. Okay, that's right. Like, that's what I'm talking about. So, like, it adds a little bit.
Oh yeah.
It makes the match more.
And speaking of commentary, I feel the last 2 weeks, just quick, Samoa Joe is going more heel. Like the things he's saying are a little bit more heel. So I'm hoping that means he's going to go full heel on commentary and then eventually make an in-ring return heel.
Yeah, I think so. Hopefully, but like the one thing is, like, he's really injury prone right now. So like if they keep him in commentary, that will be fine. I wouldn't be upset with it just because of I don't think he's done. I'm not saying he's done, but like give him, like, let him heal completely. And then bring him back.
Oh no, yeah. There's no reason to rush it back because he'll just get thrown into a bullshit storyline. But I mean, I'd love to see him against Aleister Black. There's tons of guys that he.
Like you said, Samoa Joe is such a good and a legit wrestler. He's so believable that he can have a feud with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Even he put something on Twitter. He was saying, like, hey, in the light of, like, all this bad news about wrestling, just remember that, like, good times will come. Everything will get better. So you just gotta keep the hope up and then just gotta keep showing up. Keep showing up.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna do. That's what you do at work. That's what I'm gonna do on Wednesday. We're just gonna show up and learn from that. So, like, in the end, Jean Paul, Sasha Banks pulls out the win. She rolls up Asuka, but like everybody's just like the three heels, because I remember before the match, Bayley even goes like, even she took a shot at Dolph because he's like, you're good, but like you're really good at losing. So he's like, don't it's like don't fuck this up for us. It's like, so even Bayley saying that.
Oh yeah, and then as soon as the pin, Bailey's like all over there. All three of them were like,
so that was really cool. I really like I said, the ending for me, it was a little good.
And what do we say with the we said, oh, are the heels gonna lose, get buried before the pay-per-view? No. And it was a simple roll-up. Nobody hit their finisher, so nobody got really buried. Asuka popped up right after the 3, looking around like, what the hell, this is bullshit. But I mean, that just pretty much says that Sasha's not going to be the Raw Women's Champ, because that wouldn't even make sense.
No. Oh, well, no. Like you said, no. That's just like, and to me, it's kind of dumb. Like you said, that could be an easily Bianca Belair. That could be an easy Ruby Riott. It could be an easy Liv Morgan. Build them up. That could be an easy Shayna Baszler. Whatever. But like they just go by like the Sasha Banks just because they don't have anybody else, and you have all these women right there. So lazy way over on McMahon and Bruce. I will say that. I don't like the idea. I think the match is gonna be good though. So John Paul, this wraps it up for Monday Night Raw. I think and I hope that next week is a little better. There's a lot of
I mean, it definitely
WWE, but
it definitely can't be that much worse. But I mean, this Monday Night Raw, like we said, it was a shit Sunday. It was a big ice cream sundae made of absolute shit. But the sprinkles they put on top were pretty good.
Yeah,
like we said, the stuff with Ziggler, Bayley on commentary a little bit. It was good. It was okay.
Like I said, I don't mind those. If we make the main love do legit, it's fine.
Yeah, but the main portion of this Monday Night Raw, not very good.
Oh, not very. It's like we had to wait like 2 hours and 50 minutes for this. Like, come on, guys, do a little better next week. Yeah. But we will be back next week. So thank you so very much for watching every single one of your videos. As you can see, new look because it's a new month. Summer is right there. So there you go, guys. John Paul, where they can find these two young fellas on the social media world.
Well, you can find us on Facebook and Instagram, The Original Rope Break, Twitter, The OG Rope Break, and, of course, right here on YouTube for the best wrestling content you will ever find.
And for the meat and the potatoes. So,
Yeah, for all the best content, because the most of it right here on YouTube, The Original Rope Break.
That is right. So, Jean-Paul, you and me have one more thing that is left to say, and that is...